Welcome to the Fit Vegan Podcast, the show where we help you optimize your health, fitness, and mindset on a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. My name is Maxime Sigouin. I am a former triathlete, powerlifter, bodybuilder, and basketball player, and I've been vegan for 9 years. I've also been able to coach over 350 vegans from 20 different countries to completely transform their bodies and their health. I'm excited for you to listen to today's episode. Let's get into the show. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fit Vegan Podcast. Welcome to our quick Fridays shows that are never that quick. Today, I want to talk about setting the thermostat. And so I want to share this analogy because it's something that was presented to me many years ago from one of my mentors. And recently I was forced to be confronted with it. And it was so powerful for me that I thought that I would share it with you so that it would help you improve your life. This is the purpose of this podcast, and every single piece of content and work that I do is to help serve you in your journey of ultimately becoming the most optimized and best version of yourself. All right. And we're going to do it vegan. That's the other part. So setting the internal thermostat, let's just say it's 120 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Coming inside your house, you want it to be cooler, you set it at 75. What happens? AC kicks in, brings it down to 75. Let's just say it's 40 degrees outside, and then the heat kicks in and then brings it up to 75 inside the house, right? It's always going to regulate to the amount of degree that you set it to. So the thing is, we have an internal thermostat as to how much happiness and success we're willing to allow ourselves to experience. All right, so I'm just going to repeat that. We have a limit, a set degree at which we're willing to allow ourselves to experience happiness and success and joy in our life. And the majority of the time, it's not where we want it to be. And I'll give you a clear example. You probably heard of this before, people that win the lottery, right? They have a set thermostat of living at a certain level of a certain financial level of how they spend and how they live. They win millions of dollars, and then a few years later, they're broke and they're back at the exact same level they were at before because they had an internal thermostat that was set at that level. That was their level of comfort, right? For a lot of people, because we're in the fat loss and fitness space, for a lot of people want to lose 20 pounds and they can successfully lose 20 pounds over and over again. The issue is that it just keeps coming back on every single time. They'll lose it, they'll put it back 6 months to a year after, and then do another fat loss. And it's just constantly that yo-yo dieting, right? Potentially they don't have the right system. Maybe they're not doing what we're doing with our members in terms of doing the fat loss, reverse dieting, lifestyle integration after, but let's just bring it down to having an internal thermostat. A lot of people, and it's what I see in a lot of our members, and in myself included, I definitely have gone through this. I still have this in certain areas of my life. We feel weird when we are able to lose the weight and feel really good. And I know it sounds silly, but for a lot of people, if they've been overweight for the majority of their life, and now they lose 80 pounds and they feel good, they feel more confident, they feel more comfortable in their body, they have more energy, a lot of people will not know how to deal with that level of happiness and success. And so subconsciously, they're going to go and self-sabotage their process to go back and revert to how they're used to living, right? And a lot of times it doesn't necessarily happen at the end of a successful fat loss. It will happen throughout the fat loss phase, right? Some people come in wanting to lose 30 pounds. At the 15-pound mark, they're like, oh my God, I'm getting closer to my goal. Am I the person that can reach this goal of losing 30 pounds? Like, I've been at this goal for so long. Like, it's so scary that I'm actually close to reaching it now. And it feels uncomfortable because I've always seen myself as the person that always makes mistakes and always messes up and is never able to reach their goal. And now that I actually have the right tools in place, because I'm working with a Fit Vegan coaching team, now I'm scared that I'm actually going to get there. And if I get there, that changes who I am. Now everyone around me will perceive me as the fit person because I will have become the fit person. How do I live with everyone's expectation of me being the fit person, of me being the healthy person? What if I want to go out to the restaurant and I don't want to make a healthy decision, but now everyone knows me as a fit person? I'm supposed to make a healthy decision, right? There comes with a shift of identity. There's fear, there's insecurity, there's instability that comes with that, right? And I know it sounds silly, but like, hey, I've been through it, so I can say that it's funny all I want because I've had to deal with it. And some people, they experience so much increase in energy from going vegan. They're so used to feeling tired and groggy and living off caffeine that once they change their diet, they lose the weight, we start improving their sleep, and they have a lot of energy. They're like, I feel uncomfortable with the amount of energy that I have because I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to deal with having this much energy. Do you see how that's a good problem to have? But do you also see how that could be uncomfortable and that could cause people to subconsciously self-sabotage to revert back to the level of comfort, which is them feeling tired and groggy all the time, right? It's a lot more common than people think. And I'm a big believer that, nutrition and fitness is not the reason why people aren't able to lose the weight. It's very easy, especially for me, because I've been doing it for a really long time, to create a workout plan to help people transform their body composition. It's really easy for me to create a nutrition plan for people to lose the weight, becoming healthier. The ultimate part is, how do I get you to do it? How do I get you to stick with it? And how do I get you to not self-sabotage? And again, that self-sabotage comes from setting that internal thermostat of how much happiness and success you're willing to allow yourself to experience. And in order to change that thermostat, there needs to be a shift in identity, right? Often, we will see people that say that they are the person that needs to lose 20 pounds. The thing is, they are the person that needs to lose 20 pounds for the past 20 years. They are the person that have lost it and put it back on because they identify with the person that always has to lose 20 pounds. They identify as the person that always finds a way to mess it up. Every time during the process of losing 20 pounds, they always find a way to put the weight back on after they've lost the 20 pounds. They see themselves as the one messing up in that journey constantly, and therefore it's just the history is going to repeat itself, right? The story is going to repeat itself. And so if we want that to change, we have to change our identity, right? I am the person that is at a healthy weight all year round, not identifying yourself as the person that has to lose 20 pounds all year round, right? I am the person that makes conscious decisions when I eat out at the restaurant. Not I am the person that's scared to go to the restaurant because I'm scared to make the wrong decision that's going to self-sabotage, right? You're just fulfilling the prophecy that you've put out there for yourself. And so if we start to identify where is that thermostat set, and that goes for any area of your life, that goes for health, that goes for your body, that goes for your relationship, that goes for your finances, that goes for your career, that goes for every area of your life that's important. Relationship would be a big one. There's a certain level of comfort that we're used to having in our relationship. And if it goes too well above that, we're going to subconsciously self-sabotage, right? If you haven't read the book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, talks about the upper limit problem. That's exactly what it is, right? There's too much. It's too good for too long in your relationship. You're like, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm so used to arguing with my partner. I'm so used to not talking to my partner because we're fighting. And so we subconsciously self-sabotage when things are too good, right? And just like when things are below our set thermostat, we're going to find a way to bring it back up to that level, right? We can show up when we need to show up to bring it back to its baseline. But if it goes above the baseline for too long, we're uncomfortable with it. And then we need to dumb it back down to a level where we know how to deal with it. But the thing is, if you want to experience more and more of life, more and more of what your body's able to do, what your health is able to do, how amazing your relationship can be, how amazing your finances can be, how amazing your career and your family can be, you have to be willing to go above and beyond that set thermostat that you currently have and bring a lot of awareness to identifying hey, why am I about to self-sabotage this? Things are great right now. Why do I need to mess it up? And so, that shift in identity becomes extremely important. And a lot of that comes down to actual self-confidence, not fake self-confidence, right? Just like everyone else, I can walk into a room and, be extremely self-confident, but internally I could be really insecure. It's very easy to hide. People do it all the time. What needs to happen is an internal confidence where you're the shit. You're amazing, right? And a lot of what has helped me in that process is revising what I've been through in my life and how I've come out of these things. I've been through some pretty hard things in my life. I've slept on park benches. I've pursued my goals. I've been broke. I've slept in my car. I've carried a partner through cancer treatments. I've lost a partner to cancer. I've done a lot of really hard things in my life. And so I always revert back to these things. Not necessarily my accomplishments, but the fact that I've been able to get out of these situations with my head high, that I've been able to persevere in life and create the life that I've always wanted to have, right? I always revert back to these things. So who am I as a person? How have I been able to show up? And that's where I find my confidence in, because I know that whatever life throws at me, I will be able to handle it. Just an example, right? I shared in my previous podcast on Monday. If you're listening to this on Friday, I was living in Los Angeles, had a home, a car. I was all set. And then the government was like, hey, your visa didn't really pan out the way we wanted to. You have to leave in 6 days. Oh, okay. Let me just install a hitch on my car. Let me rent a trailer. Let me pack my whole house. Let me drive for 3 days straight, make it back to Canada with my fiance and my dog. Right? But I've been through worse things. So to me, it was really easy to navigate. And so the reason I'm sharing this is because I want you to pay close attention to what your internal thermostat is. And your internal thermostat is in direct correlation with how amazing you think you are and how amazing you feel that you deserve for things to happen for you and not against you. I'll share one quick example because I've seen it in my personal life. I've seen it in the lives of our members. When you start to have success in your life, in whatever area that is, finances, business, career, relationship, family, in your fitness, in your health, and the close people around you are not experiencing that same level of success, a few things will happen. Sometimes some of those people will start resenting you, and then you start feeling guilty for doing so well. And then you subconsciously self-sabotage to bring you back down to a level where you don't create discomfort for the people around you. I want you to hear how silly that sounds. You will self-sabotage yourself to not make others uncomfortable. I have so many things to say to that because I used to be that person where when I was experiencing success and it was making friends and family around me that were making them uncomfortable, I used to just dim it down so that I can keep them in their comfort zone. Because if I change, it's therefore changing for them because we're in the same circle. And ultimately, I had to come to the place of like, whoa, why would I self-sabotage my life? Because I only get one life here, and apologize the language, but screw everyone around me that is uncomfortable with my success. It is their responsibility to level up, just as I am taking responsibility to level up in my life. I've taken responsibility to level up in my health, in my body, in my relationship, in my career, in my business, in every other area of my life. I work my ass off to become a better man in every area and to show up better for the people that I love. And if people around me are uncomfortable because of that, they need to deal with their own shit. Their own shit is not my responsibility. And so I'm saying this to you who is connecting with what I'm saying now. You don't need to feel guilty for the people around you. It is not your responsibility for how other people feel. It is only your responsibility for you to level up in all those areas. Never feel guilt for having more energy, for feeling more awesome in your skin, for crushing it in business, for crushing in a relationship, for having found the love of your life. If your best friend is single, everyone's on their own path and everyone is responsible for their own path. And we cannot save anyone unless they're willing to be saved. And if they're criticizing you, it means that they're not willing to be saved, right? And so I want to wrap up this podcast episode by saying everyone has an internal thermostat. You've set it to where it is with your own internal belief about yourself. Only you get to control that. No one gets to control that. Words of other people, negative comments from other people, doesn't matter. Those things could affect you and have helped you set that internal thermostat, but ultimately you're responsible if you're ready to turn it up to 100 and allow yourself to experience happiness, success, in love and health and a fit body. But that all comes down to you. No one can come and turn that thermostat for you because it's an internal reflection of how you feel about yourself. And so you need to work on that if you want to be able to have success, happiness, and sustainable change for the rest of your life. Because if not, I promise you, you're just going to keep turning your wheels. You're just going to keep feeling guilty for the fact that you want more out of life and the people around you are uncomfortable about you wanting more out of life, out of you being successful. It doesn't matter. It is their responsibility. And I say this with love, and my parents know this. When I started having success in my life, my parents were uncomfortable with it, right? They're my parents. They love me. I know they love me, but they're still human, right? And ultimately, I had to be okay with them being uncomfortable because them being uncomfortable with the amount of success that I was having, with the impact that I was having in the world, is not my responsibility. They're adults. They can care for themselves. It is their responsibility to deal with whatever is showing up for themselves, right? Same with friends and family that I've had along the way. It is their responsibility, not mine at all. My responsibility is to be the best version of myself, to impact the world to the highest ability that I can, because I believe that's what I've been put on earth for. All right. And so that's what I want to tell you to do today. Turn up that thermostat. Allow yourself to experience these things. If you don't believe that you deserve to experience these things, explore why. Remind yourself of all the things that you've been through to be where you're at today. Again, I don't know you, but I know that everyone has gone through a lot of shit in their life. Even if you've been very blessed in your life, you've been through obstacles. You've been through hard obstacles. Hard is hard for everyone. There's not a thing that's harder than the other. Hard is hard for everyone. So whatever you've been through, it made you the person that you are today. It made you the man, the woman. It made you who you are today. All right. And so guys, I want to leave you on that note. Crank up the thermostat. If you're ready to change and transform, you know what to do. There's a link down below where you can book your free consultation call with us. I want to help you crank that thermostat to the top and just break that shit so that you can experience ultimate levels of health and fitness and happiness in your life. And so book your call down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast episode, and I will see you next Monday. Have an amazing weekend. Ciao.